Okay, I have no idea where I left off last time. I mean, I know it was 22 and 23, but what's going on? I don't know. It's been a long time since I read. I need to get back on this every day because there's a lot to read. But anyways, 24 Numbers. Now when Balaam saw that it pleased the Lord to bless Israel, he did not go as at other times to seek the use sorcery, but he set his face toward the wilderness. To seek to use sorcery, but he set his face towards the wilderness. And Balaam raised his eyes and saw Israel encamped according to their tribes, and the Spirit of God came upon him. Then he took up his oracle and said, The utterance of Balaam, the son of Beor, the utterance of the man whose eyes are opened, the utterance of him who hears the words of God, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with his eyes wide open. How lovely are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel, like valleys that stretch out, like gardens by the riverside, like aloes planted by the Lord, like cedars beside the waters. He shall pour water from his buckets, and his seed shall be in many waters. His king shall be higher than Agag, and his kingdom shall be exalted. God brings him out of Egypt. He has strength like a wild ox. He shall consume the nations, his enemies. He shall break their bones and pierce them with his arrows. He bows down, he lies down as a lion, and as a lion who shall rouse him. So who would wake him up? Blessed is he who blesses you, and cursed is he who curses you. Then Balak's anger was aroused against Balaam, and he struck his hands together. And Balak said to Balaam, I called you to curse my enemies, and look, you have bountifully blessed them these 3 times. Now therefore flee to your place. I said I would greatly honor you, but in fact the Lord has kept you back from honor. So Balaam said to Balak, Did I not also speak to your messenger whom you sent to me, saying, If Balak were to give me his house full of silver and gold, I could not go beyond the word of the Lord, to do good or bad of my own will. What the Lord says, that I must speak. And now indeed I am going to my people. Come, I will advise you what this people will do to your people in the latter days. So he took up his oracle and said, The utterance of Balaam the son of Beor, the utterance of the man whose eyes are open, the utterance of him who hears the words of God, and has the knowledge of the Most High, who sees the vision of the Almighty, who falls down with eyes wide open. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come out of Jacob, a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and batter the brow of Moab, and destroy all the sons of tumult. And Edom shall be a possession. Seir also, his enemy, shall be a possession. While Israel does valiantly, out of Jacob one shall have dominion, and destroy the remains of the city. And he looked on Amalek, and he took up his oracle and said, Amalek was first among the nations, but shall be last until he perishes. Then he looked on the Kenites, and he took up his oracle and said, Firm is your dwelling place, and your nest is set in the rock. Nevertheless, Cain shall be burned. How long until Ashur carries you away captive? Then he took up his oracle and said, Alas, who shall live when God does this? But ships shall come from the coast of Cyprus, and they shall afflict Ashur and afflict Eber, and so shall Amalek until he perishes. So Balaam rose and departed and returned to his place. Balak also went his way. So he was giving prophecy of what was going to happen in the future. Like I said, I don't remember where we left off, but the Old Testament is full of prophecy and warnings and blessings and all the different things that were going to happen. But he knew not to go against what God told him. Now Israel remained in Acacia Grove, and the people began to commit harlotry with the women of Moab. They invited the people to the sacrifices of their gods, and the people ate and bowed down to their gods. Hold on one second. Okay. So Israel was joined to Baal of Peor, and the anger of the Lord was aroused against Israel. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Take all the leaders of the people and hang the offenders before the Lord out in the sun, that the fierce anger of the Lord may turn away from Israel." So Moses said to the judges of Israel, "Every one of you kill his men who were joined to Baal and Peor." And indeed, one of the children of Israel came and presented to his brethren a Midianite woman in sight of Moses and in the sight of all the congregation of the children of Israel, who were weeping at the door of the tabernacle of meeting. Now when Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saw it, he rose from among the congregation and took a javelin in his hand, and he went after the man of Israel into the tent, and thrust both of them through, the man of Israel and the woman through her body. So the plague was stopped among the children of Israel. And those who died in the plague were 24,000. Then the Lord spake to Moses, saying, "Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, has turned back my wrath from the children of Israel, because he was zealous with my zeal among them, so that I did not consume the children of Israel in my zeal. Therefore say, Behold, I give to him my covenant of peace, and it shall be to him and his descendants after him a covenant of an everlasting priesthood, because he was zealous for his God and made atonement for the children of Israel." Atonement, it's an important word. I'm going to quickly look it up and explain, because, see, a lot of people don't understand that even in forgiveness, and even though we are forgiven, it doesn't mean that here. Something that you do to show that you are sorry, something bad that you did, making and accepting apologies. Let's see here. It's like the Day of Atonement, meaning to be sorry for what you've done and to try to make up for what you've done, right? One second here. And he said he made atonement because he killed those who were sinning so terribly against God and everything that God had taught them. And then Jesus came, right? God sent Jesus, and that is God. Jesus is God. He sent his son, but it's God, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And Jesus said that the Spirit was coming right after him. And he, to stay with us, to help us deal with all this stuff. And that's why we have these things in our heart where we say we've got the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. But because we're supposed to fight against the sin and be sorry and ask forgiveness for our sin. And though Jesus did die on the cross, he talks about others who have given up their lives for their brothers and their sisters. And he says there is no greater honor, right, than what these people have done for us. And so we are supposed to make atonement. And in ways of helping out as much as we can others, and to try to keep peace, and to try not to sin, and to pray and to focus, and to know that this is what we're surrounded in, is a spiritual world. Just like back then, but it's very easy to fall into the ways of the earth, right? The flesh. But we're not going to be here for long. Now the name of the Israelite who was killed with the Midianite woman, was Zimri the son of Salu, a leader of a father's house among the Simeonites. And the name of the Midianite woman who was killed was Cozbi, the daughter of Zur. He was head of the people of a father's house in Midian. Then the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Harass the Midianites and attack them, for they harassed you with their schemes, by which they seduced you in the matter of Peor, and in the matter of Cozbi, the daughter of the leader of Midian, their sister, who was killed in the day of the plague because of Peor. So he's telling him to harass them, make sure this doesn't happen again, let them know you're not going to put up with it anymore, right? Now 26 is a long one. I like to try to keep these lessons kind of short, but you will see that God and Jesus, they, as much as they love us, they have their limits on what they will put up with, right? And that's why you see so much suffering on this planet, is because there is so much sin, and then the sin continues to grow, and then you get more suffering. And until, that's what I was telling somebody the other day, they were like, when he says every knee shall bow, in my mind I keep thinking it's going to get to the point where it's so bad that everyone just knows you better turn to Jesus, because there is nowhere else to turn. Because I think that the people get so wrapped up in sin and Satan, and it is just, Satan playing them on a string, right? Playing them on a string. And it came to pass after the plague that the Lord spoke to Moses and Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, saying, Take a census of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and above, by their fathers' houses, all who are able to go to war in Israel. So Moses and Eleazar the priest spoke with them in the plains of Moab by the Jordan across from Jericho, saying, Take a census of the people from 20 years old and above, just as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel who came out of the land of Egypt. Reuben was the firstborn of Israel. The children of Reuben were of Hanok, the family of the Hananites, of Palu, the family of the Paluites, of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, and of Carmi, the family of the Carmites. These are the families of the Reubenites, those who were numbered of them who were 43,730. And the son of Palu was Eliab. The son of Eliab were Nemuel, Dathan, and Abiram. These are the Dathan and Abiram, representatives of the congregation, who contended against Moses and Aaron in the company of Korah, when they contended against the Lord. And the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah, when that company died, when the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. Nevertheless, the children of Korah did not die. The son of Simeon, according to their families, were of Nemuel, the family of the Nemuelites, of Jamin, the family of the Jaminites, and Jachin, the family of the Jachinites, and of Zerah, the family of the Zarhites, of Shaul, the family of the Shaulites. These are the families of the Simeonites, 22,200. The son of Gad, according to their families, of Zaphon, the family of the Zaphonites, of Haggai, the family of the Haggites, and Shuni, the family of the Shunites, of Ozni, the family of Ozni, the family of the Oznites, and Eri, the family of the Erites, of Arod, the family of the Arodites, of Areli, the family of the Arelites. These are the families of the son of Gad according to those who were numbered of them, 40,500. The sons of Judah were Er and Onan, and Er and Onan died in the land of Canaan. And the sons of Judah according to their families were of Shelah, the family of the Shilonites, and Perez, the family of the Parzites, of Serah, the family of the Zarhites. And the sons of Perez were of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Hamul, the family of the Hamulites. These are the families of Judah according to those who were numbered of them, 76,500. And it goes on to number every single one of these. And I'm not going to read it all because I think it would just bore. But people have counted every single one of these and lists them out and talks about, and at the very end, but among these there was not a man of those who were numbered by Moses and Aaron the priests when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. For the Lord had said of them, they shall surely die in the wilderness. So there was none left a man of them, except Caleb and the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. Was not a man of who were numbered by Moses. So anyways, I guess I need to read every single bit of that, but that is just more. But let's see what that means. But among these there was not a man of those who were numbered by Moses and Aaron the priest when they numbered the children of Israel in the wilderness of Sinai. So I guess he said 20 and above. For the Lord had said to them, they shall surely die in the wilderness. So there was not left a man of them except Caleb the son of Jephunneh and Joshua the son of Nun. Okay, there we go. Numbers. That was all the way to 27. So that's good. That's it. I don't have a lot to say about that. We're going to just have to read further to find out what's going on. But it's numbers, huh? It's all about numbers. It's all about who lived, who died, the ancestry, and everything. And so there are people who have literally done huge studies on these things. And, if you're interested in that, you need to read about that. Some people love that kind of stuff. I'm just reading the Bible for my two kids, Granger and Sarah. And I'll read it again when I'm finished. Have a good day.